congratulations. Huge turnaround from the first game. I guess you had two young guys, both of whom had a really tough first game, really stand up for you today. So what was like the process in the camp over the last day or so to like kind of turn that around?
I think we briefly spoke into some of the things about the last game, but for us, it's more, we know we're a quality side. We just didn't feel like we were at our best. We spoke to guys about, when it is your day, making it your day. So it was nice that, those two boys really stood up for us.
I'm sure that you've been asked a lot about the toss here. A lot easier for you guys today, I guess, bowling first. Is there an approach that can work here better first?
There definitely is. I think we saw even the way we started. Like I thought we bowled well, but there wasn't like the wicket was playing heaps of tricks in that first 10 overs. It's a tricky one whether you go harder earlier or things like that. I thought, obviously Arian bowled sensationally in that little patch there, and then sort of once they got probably through to that 25 overs, it looks like he can score. So it's just that tricky period of 10 to 15 overs where you just got to find a way, and we'll have to speak into it and find out how we're going to go about that.
I guess big news was that Ruloff's back. Is he 100% fit, and how important is that for the team? And just to follow up that, is it possible that later in the series we might see 3 frontline spinners?
He's super important to this squad, not just for his skills, but the way he's around the group, his experience. He's an amazing character to have around. I think he's good. He's just obviously come off a flight yesterday, so probably just getting into it a bit. I think we'll have a look at what combination works. I thought Viv and Kyle were outstanding up the front. Bus obviously bowls well through the middle. So there's a few different ways you can go about it out here, but happy with how we went about it today.
Finally, I guess on team balance, got a maiden ODI wicket for Max today. Has he been bowling a lot in the nets? Is that something you thought that he might be pulling out at some point in this series? Or was that really just an inspiration that you got today?
No, he's been working hard in Cape Town, making sure it's a second skill set that he can offer us. It does offer a little bit of flexibility, whether you want to play extra batters and things like that. So, it was nice to see how it came out today. Obviously a very important wicket for us, and hopefully many more to come. We felt like the seamers, the best time to bowl is obviously up the front. So give our two pacers the best opportunity to take wickets up top. And I thought, they did a sensational job for us. It wasn't offering heaps, but they worked away on a good length and held them back. And then when we did get those breakthroughs, we were sort of well ahead of the game. So it might change game to game, but just very happy with his role he played. Obviously that'll be a massive confidence booster for him. I think, obviously coming out in your debut innings, can be tricky. So sometimes you happen like that. For him to get 50 and really anchor that innings for us, to get over the line on a small total was awesome to see, and very exciting for the future. Some of those shots he was playing.
Winning the toss has been decided in this match. Win the toss, win the match. There's been such case. Do you think the team batting first, you would need to take a different approach in this pitch, in this condition?
Good question. I think probably all three teams have put their hands up and say they didn't put in a good batting performance when they did bat first. So I think it's probably too soon to judge on that. I think you can definitely put a score on the board. Just none of the teams have managed to do so far.
Commiserations. Again, a bit of a turnaround from the last game. So I guess I'll just start with the same question everyone's asking, which is how do you win batting first here? What has to change in the approach?
I think from a little bit of experience from last year, we managed to set one good score of 280, and we did that by forming a foundation at the top. And we, if I remember correctly, we were 2 down for 80, and then a little bit of a collapse, 150 or so for 5, but cashed in a really hard from over 44. So I guess that's one method you can do it. Yeah, I mean, it's a 9:30 start, which has historically and statistically been a big factor over here in Nepal. So you can't shy away from that. You just got to find a method of playing the best game possible. If you're up against the statistics, and yeah, that if life didn't want you to win the toss on a specific day, you still got to play the game of cricket. You can't not go on the field. So you need some sort of process, and you got to really back that process. JJ Smith showed his type of process that he used. He was very calm, and then put away certain deliveries, and he managed to score after staying in there for a period of time. So I guess cashing in that back end when it gets a little bit flatter towards the end is probably the best way of doing it. And then yeah, then just squeezing in the field, and hopefully a bit of lowness, a bit of reverse swing, a good spell of spin bowling here and there in the second innings. When it does get a bit flatter, could still win you the game. So yeah, there's going to be a scenario, I think, in this series somewhere where someone gives it a real good push to defend a total on here. And yeah, I think the first team that does that will feel really proud of themselves in doing that. And as a Namibian team, we'd like to be that team that if we get put into bat first, we'd still like to win one of those games on tour.
Kind of half answered my next question,
Sorry.
but yeah, it was really just like how important are the last 10 overs that nobody's actually been able to bat in the first innings yet. Not only being able to bat well yourself, but also preventing the opposition having the best batting at the time of the day.
Yeah, again, like I said, from my experience from last year, it's really a tough ground to defend on. And from what we've seen in these couple of games earlier in the afternoon, or from about 12 o'clock or so, then sun bakes the pitch a little bit, I guess. Then it is a ground that is tough to defend on. It's small, the ball flies at altitude. So if you can create a scenario where you can go for a bit of death hitting, I think that's your best chance of batting first and heaping up runs.
I guess that finally is like, have you guys considered maybe like messing a bit with the batting order, potentially to accommodate that, batting back?
Yeah, I thought we tried to play the extra batter today. Obviously, just too much damage done in the first 15 or 20 overs to even get to a scenario of going for a little bit of death hitting or so. So no, I think it's in international cricket. It's hardly ever the case anymore where you'd put in a morning watchman of some sort or something like that. I think the guys, you're picked for a certain skill, and you really want to back yourself to be adaptable enough in certain conditions, and to use your experience to get around certain conditions. So I think the guys who are put in their roles to do a certain job need to adapt and need to find a way, and I think that's the right way to do it. You're paid to do a certain job, and I don't think there'll be any hiding, or there'll be any chopping and changing of or any theoretical batting orders coming forth. For us, we just played the extra batter today because we felt it was spin dominant throughout the course of what we've played here. We felt we didn't need another seamer, so yeah, on another day that could work out well for us, the extra batter.
I want to ask you about your bowling. I noticed that you bowl a couple of yards behind the crease. I was wondering if you had a chat with Mark Watt during your time at IL recently to sort of know crease better.
No, not really. I haven't quite. I've watched Mark Watt bowl, and he's a really canny and good bowler. And I've seen players do it, throughout their careers. I reckon one of the first guys I saw was Pollard doing it. So it's always been in the back of my mind that if there are certain, I guess, variation that you can use, and you can bowl it well, then why not? So as I've progressed in my skill in bowling, I've just added that to the locker.
A word on JJ Coates. Of course, his first ODI in about 4 years. Is it going to be a part of a long-term plan for Namibia? And how do you start? He was a little struggling out in the middle for a bit. So will he continue to back in for the upcoming years? How do you see it?
Yeah, we'll continue to back the 11 that we think we're going to get to vital World Cricket League points. So that's the the guys that we'll go with. Everyone that's in this squad understands that fully, and they're playing for this team and for the country. A very proud bunch of guys that we do have in Namibia, and it's sort of been one of the strengths throughout our last 4 years is that willingness to buy into a very tight ship and to buy into a culture that is run very well. And I think JP has been phenomenal in the way he's come back. So we'll back all the players that are here. It's just a matter of what type of skill and experience you need on a given day to win those 2 points, and we'll try as a management to put that together and back all the guys that we put out onto the field.
2 point seats after first round, you play Nepal next, but where will the team be morale be? Will you carry the morale after the victory against Nepal, or will today's performance will be a bit low for team ahead of next match?
No, we saw the way that the Dutch guys came back today after probably a low morale loss the other day. So it's a different, cricketers like that. It's a different day every day. It's lots of talk obviously about the conditions in this series, but things change. We could have bat first wickets by the end of this tournament. Who knows? So there's just a great optimism in this team that the next game could be different. That's sort of a pact that we've made between all of us on tour. That there's 8 opportunities for us to take, and if you're not going to be optimistic about those opportunities out here, then I guess you're playing the game for the wrong reasons. So we'll be evenly, energized and excited about the next game against Nepal. It'll be great to have 2 out of 2 wins against Nepal in Nepal. That's something that's a massive opportunity for us now going to the next game.
In all 3 games, the scene has been the same by winning the toss, and I think it was going to win. So we saw a bit of defensive approach today from your side as well, and from Netherlands in the previous match. So how tough do you think that will change going forward in the next 2 matches with any such changes?
Yeah, I guess the teams have tried to use the defensive approach, batting first because they want to set that foundation and try and maybe exploit the latter part of the innings when the pitch does play a little bit better, I guess when the ball's a little bit softer. So that's something that a batter out there needs to adjust accordingly. He needs to make good decisions when he's out on the field, which options he takes, which parts of the ground he takes on. I thought this morning when it was slow and turning quite a fair amount, we probably tried to go too hard at some deliveries, including myself. So it's all about using your experience and using your cricket nous out there to battle it out and then find the best way. If that's an attack for certain players, then that's what he needs to go for and stand accountable for. If it's a good defence for other players, which JJ Smith used a little bit of both, a calm defence, but using his levers to hit the ball for 6 every now and again, then that's his way to do it. And I think that's what makes cricket quite special, is that everyone has different ways to do it. You just got to find the best way in that 9:30 start to do your job.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.